an indisputable exclusive. The mayor is under investigation. The mayor that you know, that I know. This is going to be an interesting dynamic. Mondale Robinson, who spoke out against Confederate monuments, tore them down in his city. Racist leaflets started to be passed out in his community. He called for an investigation. They are now investigating him, according to the narrative. Let me give you a recap. Here it is. Black mayor has been targeted, is now under criminal investigation because he decided to remove Confederate monuments that he had permission to remove. Let me go to the first video. Here it is.
Yo, it's time for this monument to come down. People voted. I tried with a hammer. That wasn't enough. So now here come the tractors. Drive it down. Yes, sirs. Yes, sirs. Yes, sirs. Death to the Confederacy around here. Death to the Confederate in this town. We're just tied off right here where I tied that piece at.
All right, let's put his picture up, full mask. He's the mayor of Enfield, a remarkable take action leader. Comes on Indisputable as one of my trusted allies on this program. We have an update that's going to rock you. That criminal investigation back then against Mayor Mondale Robinson was dropped with no charges. Now, I want to remind you, let's keep his picture up. I want to remind everyone, this was during a time when they were passing laws to mandate local communities, in particular, local communities of color, that they could not touch these white supremacist monuments. What did he do? He personally tore them down. We applaud him for that action. Those charges were dropped. But now, according to the mayor, the SBI was at his mother's house to investigate him. He says this is in regards to racist leaflets left around town after the removal of the monument, okay? You see the leaflets, right? The letter that was left in many residents' yards reads, quote, "White people of Enfield, you have let an N-word tyrant stomp on your heritage. What will you do? Don't let them get away with anything." Signed, the Loyal White Knights. That's the largest section of the KKK. So Mayor Robinson has also received multiple threatening emails and letters delivered to his home and town office, which according to him have not been picked up or investigated by authorities. You see them right here. The letter states such things like, "You are a dumb piece of N-word who should go to jail," end quote. "Blacks are inferior beings and really just plain stupid," end quote. "And you will be watched closely. Persons will address you while you are working, when you are in public, and during your everyday outings." The White Knights also mention him directly in their outgoing voicemail. We have that voicemail. Here it is.
"Greetings from the Loyal White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. The Dumbest of the Month award goes to Mayor Mondale Robinson for calling on Governor Cooper to investigate white terror in Enfield, North Carolina. While the are running the crime rate sky high, shooting each other in gang violence, he wants to worry about Confederate monuments. If you're interested in joining the Klan, leave your name and number and we'll get back to you. Always remember, if it ain't white, it ain't right. White power."
Feckless cowards of the KK clowns This is what they promote, okay? Let's put the mayor back up. I want you to remember how he started. He got elected by the people. They said he could not touch those Confederate monuments. He said, watch me, recorded it. He's still the mayor, still outspoken. Racist leaflets all around communities where he is the mayor. He calls for an investigation. And according to him, he is now being investigated himself for putting out the leaflets against himself, which is insane. Mayor Robinson says he spent months calling for an investigation into these racist examples and publicly spoke out against the white nationalist movement, even going so far as to call out the Secretary of Public Safety directly and the governor in North Carolina directly for not doing anything about the problem of white supremacy. So shortly after challenging these positions, according to Mayor Robinson, quote, the SBI showed up at my parents' house and said they are investigating me and my younger sister for the racist letters that were thrown in Enfield's residence yards. Mayor Robinson's younger sister, who was present at the house when the agent came, told Indisputable, and I quote, I felt violated because I know that neither Mondale nor I did anything wrong. And they were trying to put the blame on us. I felt like yet again, we were being let down by the people that are supposed to protect us. I can't believe instead of trying to find out who really did it, they would accuse the people that it happened to. It's disgusting, and I felt violated. I don't think they're going to protect my brother. I know the threats come daily because I retrieved many from his mail. Mayor Robinson's other sister, who was also present at the time, told us this, quote, when the SBI agents came, I told the agent that I knew they were there because a week prior, my brother had discussed on national TV the neglect of the governor to do anything about the racist antics. I was so optimistic that I was overly eager to assist them. She thought they were there to help. However, those hopes were soon shot down. And the realization that nothing had changed or was going to change crushed me. I fear for my brother's life daily. And this investigation is confirming that those fears are valid. Let's put them up. Let me tell you who you're looking at. You're looking at NCSBI Director Bob Schumer. According to Mayor Robinson, one of his agents, Agent Scott Faircloth, was questioned by the mayor as to why they were investigating him and his family and why they had yet to conduct a full investigation into the threats made against him personally, to which the agent, under the leadership of the director, allegedly responded that the investigation had been occurring for nearly a year. Mayor Mondale Robinson told Indisputable, quote, for a year now, I've been calling for an investigation into the racist threats I received, the doxing of all of my information on racist websites, and the racist leaflets left in residence yards. But not until I challenged Secretary Eddie Buffalo publicly do I find out there is an investigation, but not of racist. Instead, they are investigating me. We reached out to the North Carolina SBI and they did not provide an immediate response. So I talked to some friends at the ACLU today about this case. They are not happy by the evidence presented so far and how it is contextualized in a way that creates a narrative to say that the mayor committed crimes against himself, when it is well documented that there are many, many groups who have been opposite of the mayor, openly so, threatening him, sending hate mail, sending messages via social media. You see, it takes courage to stand up for what is right. This is not fantasy. This is not a game. This is not a reality show. This is not a skit. These are not actors and actresses. These are real people. Now, if you thought that this investigation was going to cause me or anyone at Indisputable or the circle that extends beyond it to distance themselves from my dear brother, think again. This has caused me to get even closer, knowing the level of fight you all are trying to bring to his doorstep by going to his parents' home. How's dear brother?
Well, first, the irony of it, they're leaving these messages making it like, there's all these other problems, but he wants to focus on this monument. Well, then why are you tripping so bad over it if it's just literally a little bitty monument, but it's what the monument represents? I growing up and even up until recently, like my parents are older. I'm 31, my dad's 72, my mom's 68. So, I grew up with a lot of experience from them. And one of the things that never really made sense to me that he would say all the time is the lost cause still being alive, and how so much of what we see in society is just a continuance of the lost cause. Because in reality, they say the quiet part out loud all the time. We're losing our country. It's becoming too brown, too Latino, too gay. There's too many trans people who are openly accepting of themselves. And political forces literally see the end of the Civil War as a wrong turn that the country took. And ever since the end of the Civil War, which was over slavery, a way of life of slavery, it wasn't, it's just, the technology was changing. No, if people were willing to go to war so that they could own human beings, that's still alive and well today. That's why we're looking at what's happening with Donald Trump. He's a game show host. He's a clown. All of his fans know that he's guilty of X, Y, and Z. But what does he represent? He represents a barrier from the country becoming more brown, more gay, more trans, more openly accepting. And so despite the fact that the Civil War ended over 100 years ago, it's still alive and well. The Civil War metaphorically never really ended, because at the end of the day, the United States is stolen land built through slave labor. That's what this place is. So the fight is still alive.
The fight is still alive. And the irony is this: the people proclaiming that this is all about freedoms are literally the ones who are limiting and restricting the freedom of everyday people.